Evening, guys. Another rough day in the world of crypto. But I'm here to give you some bullish hopium and to explain my case of where I think the market will go. So the first things first, we're on the Bitcoin. We're actually on the CME chart on the weekly. Now, we've got a head and shoulders pattern. Huge weekly head and shoulders pattern. We got the neckline. We have a break of this neckline and coming down for a retest. As it stands, this is just a very, very, very large head and shoulders break and retest, which is bullish. Now, if it starts coming down further, then, it's bearish. But right now, it's just a break and a retest. And look, we've talked about this before, the RSI on the weekly. Every time it breaks out, it retraces around about 50%. It breaks out, it retraces around about 50%. It breaks out, it retraces around about 50%. And every time it does the retrace of the 50%, it retests this baseline on the weekly. And that's exactly what it's doing now as well. So we've got the bullish head and shoulders pattern. We've got the 50% retest that it's doing. It's retesting the RSI base. Nothing's broken down, but it feels terrible right now. We've also closed the CME gap. Done. So, is the world falling apart? It feels like it is. There's a lot of bearish charts out there now. But if we just strip it back, we're in a huge head and shoulders. We're on a retest, a 50% retest like we've done in every single one of these moves. We're retesting the base like we've done in every single one of these moves. So on the weekly Bitcoin pattern, everything is bullish as it stands. Now on the daily, let's have a look. It's just wicked below this previous low here. Now we don't want this to continue keeping down further, but the previous pivot high was at 74,000. But as you can see, the RSI is very far down here. So price can move even further before this RSI will even come to this pivot here. So there's very likely RSI divergence, bullish divergence in play on the daily. And price has gone further down than it did previously, and the fear and greed is higher than it was previously. So we got divergence on the RSI on the daily and divergence on the RSI on the fear and greed on the daily. So in the weekly, we're in a very, very bullish breakout retest pattern. And on the daily, we've got RSI divergence potentially playing out. So that covers the charts. Let's go into what's actually happening with liquidations. I've been drumming on about this for the last couple of weeks. These guys, every single day, are long in the market and they're getting liquidated every single day. Look at the liquidations. I mean, just if I move my mouse away so you can see it, has there ever been a time when people have gone long in this continuously, relentlessly, and continuously get liquidated? There's never been a time like this. Again, 650 million just liquidated longs in the last 24 hours. I was saying yesterday, price is going to unfortunately have to come down to around about 80,000 to get rid of all the 100x and the 50x leverage in the system. And guys, you know what I say, an easy, quick way of calculating the price that must move down on your entry is just to divide 100 by your leverage. So if you divide 100 by 100x leverage, If the price moves down 1% from your entry, you get liquidated. If you divide 100 by 50x leverage, that's 2%. So if price moves 2% down from your entry, you get liquidated. And 25x is 4%. So where price was yesterday, we're having huge spikes on the orange and yellow, 50x and 100x. And they were kind of going from 80,000 and above, I would say. And I was saying yesterday, unfortunately, price is probably going to have to come down there to take out these longs again. And I don't know how often this is going to happen. I mean, are we going to do it again tomorrow? I don't know. But right now, the longs are sitting at 250 million and the shorts are sitting at 2.5 billion. There's a 10x difference in the last 7 days of people going short and people going long in terms of dollar value. 250 million, 2.5 billion. It's crazy. So the majority of the move, if we look at the liquidation heat map, this is on the monthly, because I was trying to find any real liquidation to help here, but we've taken everything. I can go back on the 2 weeks, it's just going to show a very kind of similar pattern. It's taken everything, but there's little pockets now starting to build up. And these little pockets, the brighter the colour, the more volume ready to be liquidated there. So these pockets here and this green here, this is all the shorts. The green value here, this green wave and background, is the amount of money in dollars, $2.5 billion, of people betting the market's going to go down. And this red volume is the people betting the market's going to go up. So it looks like, and I've said this, I've said this a few days now, I just can't believe I'm still saying this, but it looks like the longs have been liquidated again. So, can price move up? Because price, whenever it tries to move up, a load of longs open up and it comes back. Price is like a fat kid. If it sees a bit of cake on the table, it's gonna come back for the cake. You know what I mean? So it just keeps on coming back and taking that cake because it's so easy. It's just sitting there. So if tomorrow they open up a load of longs again and we see this all spike up, I'm going to be saying the same thing again tomorrow, saying, unfortunately guys, we're going to have to wait until price comes down and liquidates these guys again. Until these guys stop. I mean, they will stop eventually. There's only so many times your hands can get burnt. There's only so much money you can bet the market's going to go up. I mean, they've getting liquidated every single day for the last 2 weeks. So this is really, really putting a move on, and it's not often you see this. This is really breaking everyone down here. And ETFs, there's more exits. So this is all reversal signals, bottoming signals, so it's trying to find the bottom. I think it looks like, just following liquidity, it looks like we're forming a bottom here. Do I believe the macro picture is, is the Bitcoin cycle over? I just don't believe it. But I have to follow the charts until the charts show me. I mean, do I like this being below trend? I don't. But this move started off on Sunday and Monday, say Tuesday. Quite a lot of time you get a midweek reversal. You get the fake move Monday, Tuesday, and the Wednesday, Thursday is the kind of where the move comes out. So if we're getting the fake move here led in by the Sunday low volume, and we've got bullish divergence on the daily, kind of makes me think that we've got all this money up here to take. All this money to take up here. All these values up here to take. Got the ETF selling out. There is going to be the reversal soon. And I think it would have happened a lot sooner if the longs weren't so persistent. But right now, we've got a move below trend. So this isn't good. But if it's a fake out and it wicks back into trend, that's a good sign for us. We just need to give it some more time. And as you know, guys, we've got global liquidity here with the 11-week offset. So when money comes in, the global liquidity increases. It takes around about 11 weeks for it to filter through the system and finally start getting into Bitcoin's price. So this has 11-week offset on it. So you can see around about end of March is when global liquidity downtrend stops and then the uptrend starts. And you can see this uptrend, it hasn't slowed down. So whenever this bottom happens, should be around about here, between now and the end of March, this bottom should form. And then we should start coming out firing. And if you think how bearish everyone is, how bearish everyone is across the board, and if we come out firing for this last leg up for Bitcoin, the last move, the big just finale parabolic blow off top, it would make sense coming off how crazy bearish everyone is in the market right now. So for me, guys, you know, I'm still bullish on Bitcoin. There is a lot of charts kind of bearish now, but I think a move's being played here to throw us off the scent. You know, if we just strip back the bigger picture, this is a head and shoulders. Breakout and retest. And we're retesting the 50% of this move up. We've closed the CME gap and we're retesting the neckline here. We're also retesting the base of this whole, the RSI base of this whole bull market. So right now we're on very strong support. Now if this support starts to break, then we can look at other options, but right now, until the support breaks, we're bullish. Keep on the trend. But these times when it comes right down, you know, think about it. When this came right down here, I think it was one of these, the banking crisis, the fear right there, retested all the base, retested 50%, moved up. This was the Japanese yen carry trade. Remember that was about to crush the market. Scary time, retest, retest. Right now we've got Trump's tariffs causing all this trouble, but it's a retest and it's a retest. Now if you weren't listening to the news, or Twitter, or your social media influences, or whoever you listen to, and you were just sitting here in the charts, you're like, okay, there's a head and shoulders, breakout, retest. Okay, this is what I'll do. I'll open up my long. Let me just do it. Let me just get this out of the way. If you were just looking there, and then you could do on the daily. Let's have a look. This is not financial advice, but it's done the retest of the long. It's now come up and broke trend. So say this is what price does. Comes up, comes down to retest this trend line. If you were not listening to anyone, you would have your entry on this retest. You'd put your stop loss just below the neckline, the 50% and the CME gap, all that major support. And then you'll run this right up somewhere around about there. A risk reward 8-1. But because we're listening to everything from Trump's tariffs, the recessions, all this kicking off, all the news is going mental. I mean, I'm not on any social media, so when it gets to me, I know it's bad because I don't have these things in my life for it to get to me, so I quite like that. So when it does get to me, I know how bearish it is. So guys, until it says otherwise, it's a break and a retest, and it's in a bullish pattern. I think I'm going to leave it there tonight. I think it's probably gone on long enough, but I've got some other things I'd like to go into. I'll probably do it this week sometimes, like the oil and the 2-year yield. The 2-year yield's coming down, so I think I'll just quickly jump into this for you guys. This 2-year yield is coming down, and this will usually move before the Fed does. So if this starts going down, the interest rates start coming down in 2-year yield, the Fed funds rate will come down as well. So I think there's going to be a rate cut coming soon. And the good thing is there's no rate cuts really priced in the market, so when they do come, they'll send the market flying as well. And we've got the Dixie completely hammering down there. We're just not seeing any of it coming through into Bitcoin yet. But it'll come, guys, it'll come. So, hope you're well. If you like these videos, I'm here every single day. I drop these videos around about 8-9 o'clock UK time, and every single day they're there. So if you like them, give them a like if you've enjoyed them, if you've got something from it. Hit it a subscribe. I make these videos every day, and because I'm building them every day, I build the picture every day. So please, if you have the chance or you got the time, and only about 10 minutes every day, just listen to each one or watch each one, just so you get a feel of where I'm from, and I'll build up the picture each day of how things are moving and where it's likely to go. Yeah, guys, have a good one. Cheers. Bye.